Hi, I'm Eric Siegel with ericstrains.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new 3-rail O-scale Burlington Northern Bicentennial U30C diesel from Lionel. Lionel first made this engine available in their 2011 Volume 1 catalog, and it was shipped towards the end of 2011. Now, this paint scheme is based on a real-life engine that did exist back in 1976. Burlington Northern, along with other railroads, decorated a couple of their engines to celebrate the nation's bicentennial in 1976. And so they did take a U30C diesel and they decorated it up like you see here, and they gave it a road number of 1776. They also did the same thing with an SD40 diesel, and they gave that a road number of 1876. However, to my knowledge, Lionel has not done a model of that SD40. But even though they didn't exist, Lionel has done a couple other items in this series. They did an extra road number, which is 1777, and they also did a caboose decorated up in the same way, so that if you want to, you can have a train that's headed up by two of these engines, and at the end of the train will be a caboose that's decorated in the same way. Okay, so let's start this review off with some general information and stats for the engine. The underside of the engine, including the pilot's trucks and fuel tank, are all die-cast metal, and then up above you've got a plastic shell. The length of the engine is about 16 inches. It's about 17 inches if you count the couplers. It weighs in at 5 pounds 7 ounces. It pulls right around 2 pounds, so it's a good puller. And the minimum curve needed to run this engine is 0.31. On the inside, the engine is powered by 2 flywheel motors, and it features Lionel's legacy control system as well as legacy rail sounds. Now, there are 3 ways to run this engine. The preferred method, and the one that lets you get the most out of the engine, is to run it with Lionel's legacy command system. But you can also run this engine with Lionel's classic TMCC command system, or you can run the engine conventionally. The most eye-catching feature of this engine, of course, is the paint scheme, and Lionel did a pretty good job here. I compared this model with photos of the prototype, and for the most part, they got it right. I couldn't find any major differences between the way this model looks and the way the prototype looked. Here's a close-up view of the pilot. Now, this isn't the most fancy pilot that I've ever seen in my life, but it's pretty well done. You've got a detachable plow on the front of the pilot, and then on either side of the coupler, you've got some separately applied MU hoses. Now, something that you could do to add a little more eye candy down here, and something that I will do myself on this engine, is to paint the ends of these MU hoses with some silver paint, like that. Here's a look at the truck side frames. They're not the most detailed side frames I've ever seen, but they're not the worst either. They're kind of right there in the middle, and there is some nice cast-in detail on these frames that makes them look pretty good. The fuel tank area is also pretty well done. You've got some nice piping detail right here and on the other side of the tank here, and you've got some hand-painted details here. Up on top, we've got metal handrails and metal safety chains. There's a little drop deck right here, and there's one on the back of the engine as well. We have safety tread on the walkways. There are separately applied grab irons up here on the nose, and then we've got a little brake wheel right here. On the cab, we've got separately applied windshield wipers. The front and rear door of the cab both open. Inside the cab, you've got 2 crew figures, and the interior of the cab is lighted. There are several lighting effects on the front of the engine. Up here, you've got operating marker lights that light up red when the engine is in reverse. You've got lighted number boards right here, a headlight here, and an operating strobe light right here. The strobe light can be activated or deactivated from the legacy remote. On the back of the engine, you've got separately applied grab irons right here, lighted number boards, a backup light, and another drop plate down here. On the roof of the engine, we've got the strobe light that I showed you earlier, the antenna, and the horn. Toward the rear of the engine, the smoke unit is right here, and the best way to fill the smoke unit is to remove this piece like that, and that'll give you clear access to the smoke unit so that you can easily fill it, like that. On the back of the engine, the fan housing right here detaches like that to reveal the engine controls as well as the battery compartment. Lastly, here's a look at the underside of the engine. On each truck, you've got 6 wheels. The inner 4 wheels are drive wheels, and the outer 2 are free spinning. You've got 2 pickup rollers on each truck for a total of 4, and you've got 2 traction tires on each truck for added pulling power. Okay, so now let's power this engine up and take it for a spin.
Dispatcher here. Do you copy? Over.
Roger that.
Please start her up and stand by for track orders.
Copy that, dispatcher. Starting up the engine. Out.
Okay, here's the horn. Here's the bell, and as with all legacy engines, you can either do a single hit for the bell or a continuous bell. To do the single hit, you just tap the bell button like this. Just like that. Or you can do a continuous bell like this. Here's some of the crew talk.
Dispatcher, I've got a full tank of fuel. Can I get a clear signal? Over.
Affirmative, the track is yours. Over.
Copy, we have that clear. Out.
Dispatcher here. You're cleared onto the main. Over.
Copy that. Out.
Okay, let's go ahead and move it out.
Dispatcher, we are on the move. Over.
Acknowledged. Out. Dispatcher here. Please go to slow speed. Over.
I'm at slow speed. Out. Dispatcher here. Please go to restricted speed. Over. Engine is at restricted speed. Out. Train is at a complete stop. We'll let you know when we're underway. Out. Tire down, going to beach. Out.
Okay, that about wraps it up for this review. This is a good, solid diesel offering from Lionel. It's got everything you'd expect in a modern legacy diesel from Lionel, and the paint scheme is sure to attract attention on your layout, and I'm really happy with this engine. It retails for right around $530, although if you go through a good Lionel dealer, you shouldn't pay anywhere near retail. You should get this for somewhere in the $4s. And as always, if you're looking for a good dealer, try my favorite train store and today's sponsor, which is Legacy Station. You can get to them on the web at www.legacystation.com or give them a call at 770-339-7780. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm Eric Siegel, and I will see you next time.